Hello and welcome to Songee'z Training Moments. So today what we are going to be doing in our advanced video session is wrapping a permanent wave. I want to show you how to wrap a permanent wave in less than 30 minutes, not using the 9 sections. For students who are still in school, remember, you can watch this, you can learn this for speed's sake, but until you get your license, because you still have to go to state board, until you get your license, you remember those 9 sections. And then when you get out, you can do it any way you want to do it. As long as you have your control, as long as you can roll or cut or do whatever it is that you need to do, you can do that. So, okay, this is my favorite. This is my mannequin. And anytime I carve, I like to carve the top out. I like to carve the top, and I like to work with the sides and the back of the hair and save the top for last. So we're going to carve this out, and I'm going to show you how to begin to wrap the hair. Yes. Okay, so we're back. I have carved my top out, and so I have my sides and my back. I'm going to begin to roll. You can start from either side. I like to start from one side and go around to the other side. So this is what you need. You need your rat tail comb. This is your regular comb for combing it out, making sure everything is the way you want it. Water bottle. This is very important. When you are wrapping a perm, you want to make sure that the hair stays wet. It makes for better wrapping. It keeps the hair glued to the end papers, your end papers. Remember, there are 3 ways to use your end papers. You can use a whole one. You can book in, or you can use a double paper, and you can double wrap. And so whichever one is comfortable for you, based on your client, based on their hair, that's what you would use. I like using a single sheet. I like taking small sections and wrapping. So I want to turn that. Let's see, can you see that? So we are going to begin here. Here are your rods. Your rods determine your curl. The bigger the rod, the looser the curl, or the looser the wave. So you are going to section. You're going to section off your hair. Let's wet it. Now, this is what I found that works for me. If the hair is wet enough, you don't have to have 5,000 clips to put in the hair. You can section the hair, and because the hair is wet, you can comb it back, and it'll stay back, and it'll stay out of the way, okay? So then when you have your rod, when you're getting ready to section into your subsections, for those of you who know rods, you know what I'm talking about. But there are smooth grooves on both sides of the rod. And so when you section, your hair should fit from smooth groove to smooth groove. If it's outside of those grooves, your section is too large. And so you want to make sure that you go from smooth to smooth groove. And the best way you can section, you can place your smooth groove on the corner of the hair, and you go from that smooth groove to that smooth groove, and that is where your first parting takes place, your first subsection. You go down, you subsection, and it should go just behind the ear, and you have your subsection that's smooth groove, and it goes to the front of the hair. So then we're going to roll it down. We're gonna take it back, spray your water, have your papers ready, and you are gonna section. Also, if you look as far as diameter is concerned, your section should be no bigger than the inside, the diameter of the roller. So you could actually go from that part, hold it on there. Once you get used to it, you won't do all of that, or you won't have to do all of that. It's kind of like cooking. Once you get used to cooking something, you don't need measurement spoons and stuff like that. You kind of just know what to do, how to do. It works for you, and everything kind of falls into place. So you have your first section. It's thin. Remember, basic 101, never put your comb down. Keep it in your hand. Take it, put your wrap on, and because the hair is wet, it stays on there automatically. If you want to spread a little bit more, you can. Take the paper up just past the edge of the hair so that when you begin to roll, you have free space for your roller. And you go down and you clip and you put it, and so again, you see that my hair sits inside the free sections. And so I'm going to roll down. I'm going to roll it down and bring it back, so that you can see it. And then we're going to go around the head and we are going to roll this. It is 3:31. So I will be right back. All right, so I'm on my last roller for this section. Make sure that when you clip it, you make sure it's tight. You can roll the bands, and then you go around and you go to the next section. If you look, you can see that it's stacked. Everything falls within. And so then you go around. I'm alternating. And you just go around and you roll. So I'm going to roll the whole thing, and again we're going to come back and then I'll talk about the top section, okay? Because it's pretty common, pretty traditional. So another thing I wanted to say right quick, when you are sectioning your hair, comb the hair and make sure that it is smooth. I see a lot of times people bunch up their hair. You don't have to bunch it up. If it's thin enough and the sections are carved correctly, it'll lay smooth across the paper. The reason you don't want to bunch it up is because when you put the solution on there, if it's bunched up, you might have unevenness when it comes to your curl. You want to make sure that each curl is on there and it's done. You want to make sure that the hair is laying so that each strand is separated and laying smooth enough so that when you put the solution on there, it goes on there evenly. And then I'm going to do the back section. I'm doing the back two sections, and then because the hair comes in, I'm going to roll it a different way, and I'll show you the outcome of that in a minute. All right, we're back. We're on the top section. And so your top section, I like to roll my section to the side. This is all that's left of the top section. And so I'll roll the back to the side, and then I'll roll the front toward the front. And I like to roll it toward the front because it releases pressure, and when I get there, I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm gonna roll this section, and I'll be back. All right, and we are on our last roller. And again, like I said, I roll the front, and I'll show it to you in a sec. I roll the front forward because when you get around the hairline is the weakest part of the hair, and when you're perming, you don't want to have your bands so tight on the hair that the solution dries out or breaks off the hair. Generally, if the hair is normal, you don't have that problem. But if the hair is weak, then you know you can risk breaking off the hair. But it is 29 minutes. We roll this in 29 minutes. So generally in school they give you 45 minutes, and generally in school you guys complain, I was one of them, complain about rolling and doing your 9 sections. This, remember, sectioning, you section for control. And so you have to learn how to control. You also section for state board. State board says that you have to have 9 sections, at least where I come from. So if another state has different 8 sections, 10 sections, whatever. But most places, it's 9 sections. I also roll for style purposes. I don't like having the straight back, straight down, because when you get through perming the hair, when you take the rods out, the rods are going to fall the way that you have it rolled. And so when you're styling the hair, I like to have hair going toward my face. And so I don't want to roll it back, because when you take the rods out, it's going to be away from your face. And those rolls, when you're perming, it's going to give you permanent parts. And so it's going to automatically lay back. And then you're going to be fighting to get it to fall a certain way. So for me, I'm comfortable rolling it toward the face, because then I can go either way, or I can still go back in a roller set if I need to go in a roller set, or if we need to massage the parts a little bit to kind of loosen it up. And so this is my final result. This is how I rolled it. You're going to put your cotton around, of course, and make sure she is fully draped, so that when you put your solution on, it won't fall in her face. And another tip, if you don't know, you probably know, but when you get ready to put it on, the solution will fall onto the cotton. But get you a towel and just put the towel on your hand. And when you put the solution on and you're doing it like that, make sure the towel is sitting around the face so that it does not get in her face. The fumes are going to get in her face and it's going to stink. But you can do it like that, and then when you move it out the way, you make sure that it's dripping onto the cotton and not onto her face. And so we have our sections. You see, because the neck comes inward, I roll these 2 in, I roll these 2 in, and I just rolled it straight down. And so my sections are probably a 1/2 inch in diameter. And I actually have smaller sections. I probably could have had it a little bit bigger. But this is our video on wrapping a permanent wave. We wrap this permanent wave in actually less than 30 minutes. It is possible when you get out into the workplace and you have a lot of customers and you have other stylists who are fighting you for the business. The faster you are, the more clients that you can take. It's a process. And that's why you do it at school. You learn it, and you learn those 9 sections. Even though you hate it, believe me, I cried. It's stressful, but once you learn it, you got it. And so then all you have to do is then work on your speed. Get it so that when you get out, you can take those perms. It'll take you 30 minutes to roll it. You can do a perm in 1.5 hours, a basic perm. Unless it's a spiral or some kind of specialty wrap, you should be able to push out a perm in 1.5 hours, and that 2 hours tops with a roller set. And the majority of your time is processing time. That's not you. So while they're processing, you can take a haircut. Haircut should take you 15 minutes. We will work on that next. Okay? So check us out on Songee'z Training Moments on Facebook. You can look up the page, like us. If you have any questions or any comments or anything, hit us down below, and we will be glad to answer your questions. Thanks a lot, and we will see you on the next video. Peace.